Hello there, and welcome to this sleepy science zone. Thank you for being here in this quiet moment of the night. You don't need to prepare for anything. You don't need to solve anything. For now, simply allow yourself to rest. Right now, without you doing anything at all, your nervous system is deciding whether it is safe to let go. Not tomorrow, not later, but in this exact moment. Modern neuroscience shows that within the first 30 seconds of perceived calm, activity in the brain's threat detection circuits, especially the amygdala, can begin to soften. Heart rate variability subtly shifts. Breathing patterns change. Muscles receive quieter instructions. This happens long before conscious relaxation ever fully registers. That is why these first moments matter. Calm is often described as a feeling, a mindset, or even a personality trait. But biologically, calm is something far more precise. Calm is a signal. It is a message your brain sends to the rest of your body that says, there is no immediate danger. When that message is received, your nervous system begins transitioning from protection into repair. Many people spend their days in a state of low-level alertness without realizing it. Emails, notifications, responsibilities, and unfinished thoughts keep the sympathetic nervous system gently activated for hours. Cortisol remains slightly elevated. Muscles stay subtly contracted. The brain remains oriented towards scanning rather than restoring. Sleep is designed to reverse this pattern. But sleep does not begin when your eyes close. It begins when your nervous system believes it is safe enough to power down. Research over the last decade shows that cognitive and emotional tone, the overall quality of your thoughts, directly influences how smoothly this transition occurs. Calm, predictable, non-threatening mental input reduces activity in stress-related neural pathways and supports parasympathetic dominance. This is the branch of the nervous system responsible for digestion, immune regulation, tissue repair, and neural recovery. This is what many people describe as positive energy. Not as something mystical, but as a physiological state of coherence. When thoughts slow and soften, neurons in the prefrontal cortex reduce their demand for rapid processing. This allows deeper brain structures to coordinate rhythmic activity more efficiently. Brain waves gradually shift from fast beta patterns towards slower alpha frequencies, opening the neurological doorway to sleep. Importantly, none of this requires effort. Your body is not waiting for perfect relaxation. It is waiting for signals that nothing urgent is required. As you listen now, sound travels through your brainstem into regions that regulate arousal and vigilance. The steady pacing of the voice, the absence of sudden changes, and the predictable flow of language create what neuroscientists call contextual safety. When the brain detects this pattern, it reduces its need to stay alert. This is not imagination, it is physiology. Within about 90 seconds of sustained calm input, measurable changes can occur in autonomic balance. Blood pressure trends downward. Muscle spindle activity decreases. Even immune signaling begins to favor restoration over defense. You do not need to visualize healing. Well, you do not need to believe in anything. Your nervous system evolved to respond to quiet. Tonight, we will gently explore how calm thoughts influence neural circuits, how safety felt in the mind becomes regulation in the body, and how sleep provides the biological conditions for deep repair. We will move slowly, without urgency, allowing your system to follow its natural rhythm. For now, there is nothing to analyze, nothing to fix. Just remain here, breathing softly as the rhythm of calm continues. And your nervous system begins, quietly and naturally, to shift toward rest. Before sleep can deepen, something very quiet must happen inside your body. A shift so subtle, you may never notice it directly. And yet, this shift changes everything. It begins with breath, not forced breathing, not counted breathing. It's just the natural movement of air, slowing ever so slightly as your nervous system listens for confirmation that it is safe to rest. From a scientific perspective, breathing is one of the few bodily functions that lives at the crossroads between conscious choice and automatic control. You can guide it if you wish, but even when you do nothing, it continues on its own. This makes breath a powerful biological messenger. When inhalations become slower and exhalations lengthen, stretch receptors in the lungs send signals through the vagus nerve to the brainstem. These signals inform your autonomic nervous system that the environment is stable. Heart rhythm adjusts. Blood pressure gently lowers. Neural firing patterns begin to synchronize. This is not relaxation as a concept. This is regulation as a process. Yes, studies in psychophysiology have shown that slow, steady breathing can reduce activity in stress-related brain regions within minutes. The prefrontal cortex becomes less preoccupied with monitoring. The locus coeruleus, a key center for alertness, decreases its output of norepinephrine. The entire system begins conserving energy rather than spending it. You do not need to try to control this. Simply noticing the breath is often enough. As you listen now, your chest may already be rising a little less. Your belly may soften. The tiny muscles around your eyes may be releasing tension they've been holding all day. These changes are small, but they are meaningful. They mark the beginning of your nervous system's descent into nighttime mode. In the language of sleep science, this is the transition from sympathetic dominance to parasympathetic guidance. During the day, sympathetic activity helps you focus, react, and protect yourself. At night, parasympathetic activity takes the lead, directing resources toward digestion, immune surveillance, cellular repair, and memory integration. This handoff does not happen all at once. It unfolds gradually, breath by breath. Each calm inhale tells your brain that oxygen is plentiful. Each slow exhale tells it that urgency has passed. Over time, this pattern reshapes neural expectations. The brain learns that it does not need to stay vigilant, that it can release its grip on the edges of consciousness, that it can allow deeper rhythms to emerge. Importantly, this process works even if your thoughts are not perfectly quiet. You may still notice images drifting through your mind, fragments of the day, loose associations forming and dissolving. This is normal. The goal is not mental silence. The goal is physiological permission. As breathing steadies, sensory processing begins to narrow. The brain pays less attention to external details and more attention to internal states. Alpha brainwave activity increases, especially in posterior regions of the cortex. This shift creates a bridge between wakefulness and sleep, where awareness becomes softer and less defined. This is where healing quietly prepares itself. Hormonal patterns begin adjusting toward nighttime levels. Growth hormone release becomes more likely. inflammatory signals gradually dampen. The nervous system creates the internal conditions needed for repair without asking for your involvement. You are not required to relax harder. You are not required to think positively. Your body already understands how to do this. For now, simply allow the breath to continue at its own gentle pace. Let each exhale feel like a small letting go. Not dramatic, not forced, just enough. As this calm rhythm settles in, we will begin the next gentle transition, moving from the mechanics of the body into the quiet landscapes of the mind, where sleep begins to feel less like falling and more like drifting. As breathing continues to soften, another quiet process begins unfolding beneath your awareness. Your body starts reassessing its posture toward the world, not in thought, but in tone. Throughout the day, your muscles have been holding you upright, responsive, prepared. Even when you sit or lie down, muscle fibers maintain a subtle readiness, guided by neural circuits shaped by vigilance. This background tension is not a flaw. It is a survival feature, but it is not meant to last forever. At night, the nervous system looks for cues that it can safely reduce this tone. Research in neurophysiology shows that muscle relaxation is closely tied to changes in sensory input. When stimulation becomes predictable and non-threatening, motor neurons gradually reduce their firing rate. Muscle spindles, which detect stretch and position, begin sending quieter feedback to the spinal cord. The result is a gradual softening that feels less like relaxing and more like being gently set down. You may notice this first in the shoulders, or in the jaw, or in the small muscles around the eyes and forehead. These are regions that often carry emotional load without asking permission. As they soften, proprioceptive signals, the body's internal sense of position, shift toward stillness. The brain interprets this stillness as another confirmation of safety. With fewer signals demanding adjustment, neural resources become available for internal maintenance. This is where the healing role of calm truly deepens. When muscle tone decreases, blood flow redistributes. More circulation becomes available to organs involved in digestion, detoxification, and immune activity. Lymphatic movement improves. Metabolic byproducts from the day are gradually cleared. None of this is dramatic. It is methodical, quiet, efficient. The body prefers this kind of healing. At the same time, sensory thresholds subtly change. Sounds that might have triggered alertness earlier now feel distant. The boundary between your body and the environment becomes softer. Neuroscientists describe this as a narrowing of the sensory gate, where only essential information is allowed through. This narrowing is protective. It allows restoration to proceed without interruption. Importantly, this process does not require perfect stillness. Small movements, adjustments, even gentle fidgeting are part of the system finding equilibrium. Each movement is followed by a slightly deeper settling, as the nervous system learns what stillness feels like tonight. Positive energy, in this context, is not excitement or motivation. It is the absence of friction, the smooth flow of signals without resistance, the body operating without having to brace itself. As this state develops, brain activity continues shifting. Alpha waves become more prominent, especially in regions associated with sensory integration. The sense of effort dissolves. Awareness becomes more diffuse, less centered on any single thought or sensation. You may feel heavier or lighter, or simply less defined. All of these are signs of successful transition. Your body is not shutting down, it is reorganizing. This reorganization prepares the ground for deeper stages of sleep, where memory is consolidated, emotions are processed, and tissues repair themselves at the cellular level. What feels like doing nothing is biologically a highly active form of care. For now, allow this softness to continue spreading. Let gravity do some of the work for you. Let the surface beneath you take responsibility for holding your weight. The more your body senses support, the less it needs to hold itself together. And as this trust deepens, the mind will begin its own gentle journey inward, toward quieter landscapes where sleep becomes effortless. As the body settles into stillness, the mind naturally begins to change its shape, not by force, not by command, but by following the signals rising from below. Neuroscience describes this phase as a transition state, where conscious thought loosens its grip and associative thinking becomes more fluid. The brain is not asleep yet, but it is no longer anchored to linear problem solving. Instead, it begins to drift through images, fragments, and impressions. This is not distraction, it is preparation. When external demands fade, the brain's default mode network becomes more active. This network is involved in self-referential processing, memory integration, and the weaving together of experience. During waking hours, it competes with task-focused systems. At night, it takes the lead. You may notice thoughts appearing without clear intention. A color, a place, a memory with no obvious relevance. There is no need to follow these thoughts or push them away. Their presence indicates that your mind is shifting from control into flow. In this state, neural communication becomes less rigid. Regions that do not usually interact as freely during the day begin exchanging information. This flexibility is essential for healing. Research has shown that during these early stages of sleep onset, emotional material is processed with less reactivity. The amygdala remains active, but its communication with regulatory regions changes. Emotional memories lose some of their sharpness. They become easier to integrate without triggering stress responses. This is one reason calm mental input before sleep matters so deeply. When the mind enters this landscape gently, without threat or urgency, it carries that tone into the deeper stages of the night. The nervous system learns that it can process without defending, that it can review the day without reliving it. Positive energy here is not about positive thoughts. It is about non-threatening thoughts. Thoughts that do not demand action. Images that do not require interpretation. As awareness softens, the sense of time may begin to blur. Seconds stretch. The boundary between one thought and the next dissolves. This temporal flexibility reflects changes in thalamocortical communication. As sensory gating increases and internal rhythms dominate, you may feel as if you are floating between states, not fully awake, not fully asleep. This is exactly where you need to be. From this threshold, the brain can choose sleep naturally, without struggle. Slow wave activity becomes more likely. Memory traces begin reorganizing. The groundwork for immune and tissue repair is quietly laid. Nothing needs to be added. Nothing needs to be removed. If you notice yourself drifting, let it happen. If you notice awareness returning, that is fine too. Each return is softer than the last. Remain here, allowing the mind to wander without destination as the body continues its quiet work below. In this shared rhythm, thought and sensation gradually lose their edges, and sleep begins to feel less like an event and more like a gentle continuation of calm. As the mind drifts more freely, thus another important transition begins to unfold. The brain slowly releases its need to supervise every moment. During waking hours, large networks in the prefrontal cortex remain active, constantly evaluating, planning, predicting. This executive control is essential for navigating the world, but it is also energetically expensive. At night, the brain looks for opportunities to step back from this role. Calm input creates that opportunity. Neuroimaging studies show that as sleep onset approaches, activity in executive regions gradually decreases, while communication between sensory and memory-related areas becomes more fluid. This shift allows the brain to move from managing experience to integrating it. You may notice this as a gentle loss of narrative. Thoughts no longer form complete stories. They appear as fragments, impressions, and half-formed ideas. This is not confusion, it is efficiency. When the brain no longer needs to track cause and effect, it can reorganize information in more useful ways. Experiences from the day are sorted, emotional tones are softened, and irrelevant details are allowed to fade. What remains is meaning without urgency. This is one of the quiet gifts of sleep. At the same time, neurochemical balances continue to shift. Levels of acetylcholine associated with alert attention decrease. GABA, the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter, becomes more influential, gently dampening excess neural firing. This creates a smoother, more synchronized rhythm across neural networks. The brain is not shutting down, it is harmonizing. This harmonization reduces internal noise. Signals travel with less resistance, and neurons fire in coordinated patterns rather than isolated bursts. From the inside, this can feel like mental spaciousness, a sense that thoughts have more room, or that awareness is spreading out rather than focusing in. You may feel less located behind your eyes, more diffuse, more open. As control loosens, the nervous system deepens its parasympathetic dominance. Heart rhythms become more regular. Digestive activity increases. The immune system shifts toward surveillance and repair. Inflammatory signaling continues to decline. All of this unfolds without instruction. Positive energy, at this stage, is best understood as coherence. The alignment of systems that no longer need to compete. When the brain trusts the environment, the body follows. This trust is built moment by moment. Each predictable sound, each gentle pause, in each absence of demand. If a thought arises that feels unfinished, you do not need to resolve it. The sleeping brain is remarkably capable of holding questions without answering them. In fact, unresolved material is often processed more effectively during sleep than during conscious effort. So you are allowed to not know, allowed to leave things open, allowed to rest in incompleteness. As this permission settles in, awareness may begin dipping below the surface more often. You may notice brief gaps, moments where thought disappears entirely, then quietly returns. These gaps are signs that sleep pressure is increasing and that the brain is testing deeper states. There is nothing you need to do when this happens. No need to hold on. No need to let go. Just allow the rhythm to continue. The night is capable of carrying you from here. As those small gaps in awareness become more frequent, the nervous system crosses another subtle threshold. The threshold where effort is no longer required at all. In sleep science, this phase is often described as the earliest stage of non-REM sleep, where consciousness becomes intermittent and sensory responsiveness drops significantly. But from the inside, it feels less technical and more simple. It feels like quiet. External sounds lose their edges. The body feels heavier, yet less noticeable. The sense of me becomes softer. This happens because the thalamus, the brain's sensory relay center, begins limiting the flow of information to the cortex. Incoming signals are filtered more aggressively. Only what is essential passes through. The rest fades into the background. This filtering protects sleep. It allows the brain to turn inward without interruption. As cortical activity slows, neurons begin firing in more synchronized patterns. Slow oscillations emerge, creating the foundation for deeper sleep stages later in the night. These oscillations are not random. They are highly organized waves that coordinate communication across vast neural networks. They tell cells when to rest and when to exchange information. They create timing for repair. From the body's perspective, this is a green light. Growth hormone release becomes more likely. Cellular repair pathways activate. Protein synthesis increases. The immune system shifts into maintenance mode, scanning and restoring with quiet precision. All of this depends on one thing: the absence of threat. Calm thoughts earlier in the night reduce the likelihood of stress-related microarousals. Those brief spikes of alertness that fragment sleep without fully waking you. When these interruptions are minimized, the nervous system can remain in restorative modes for longer periods. This is why the tone of the evening matters so much. Not because thoughts need to be positive, but because they need to be non-demanding. As awareness continues to fade, you may no longer notice the breath as clearly. It continues on its own, guided by brainstem rhythms that have been refining themselves since birth. Heartbeat follows suit, steady and efficient. There is nothing left to manage. If awareness returns briefly, it does so gently, without urgency. Each return is shorter than the last. As the pull of sleep becomes stronger, the brain recognizes the pattern and allows itself to go further each time. This is the beginning of sustained rest. From here, the night will continue the work without supervision. Memories will be sorted. Emotions will be integrated. The nervous system will recalibrate its baseline, preparing you for another day. You do not need to stay with the words anymore. They can fade when they are ready. The silence underneath them is already doing what it needs to do. As words begin to feel more distant, silence quietly takes their place. Not an empty silence, but a living one. Neuroscientists describe this phase as a deepening of neural synchronization, where large populations of neurons begin oscillating together at slower frequencies. From the inside, it feels like being gently held by stillness. From the outside, the body appears motionless, yet inside, complex healing processes are unfolding. Silence, in this sense, is not the absence of activity. It is the absence of interference. When external stimulation drops below a certain threshold, the brain no longer needs to allocate resources toward prediction or defense. Instead, it turns inward, activating circuits dedicated to maintenance, recalibration, and repair. One of the most important systems engaged during this time is the glymphatic system, a network responsible for clearing metabolic waste from the brain. Recent research has shown that this system becomes significantly more active during early non-REM sleep, when neural activity slows and cells slightly shrink, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to circulate more freely. This is how the brain cleans itself. Byproducts of neural activity, proteins, fragments, residues from a day of thinking, are gently washed away. This process does not feel like anything consciously, yet it plays a crucial role in long-term cognitive health and emotional regulation. Silence makes this possible. At the same time, communication between the brain and the immune system becomes more refined. Inflammatory signals that were elevated during the day continue to decrease. Repair-oriented immune cells shift their focus from defense to restoration. This is one reason quality sleep supports resilience and recovery. Positive energy here is not something added. It is something allowed. Allowed by the absence of urgency. Allowed by the absence of demand. As awareness fades further, the boundary between thought and sensation dissolves. You may no longer notice where your body ends and the space around you begins. This loss of distinction reflects changes in parietal cortex activity, where spatial awareness becomes less precise. This is not disorientation, it is release. The brain no longer needs to track position or plan movement. It trusts that stillness is safe. This trust allows deeper restorative processes to proceed without interruption. If fragments of thought appear, they are softer now, less verbal, more like impressions, colors, sensations without names. These fragments do not require attention. They pass through awareness like clouds moving across a dark sky. Each passing moment reinforces the same message to the nervous system. Nothing is required. Breathing continues quietly. Heart rhythm remains steady. Muscles stay relaxed without effort. The entire system operates on low energy, high efficiency. This is the state the body has been waiting for. Silence is no longer something you notice. It becomes the background. And in this background, healing unfolds naturally, without instruction, without intention. The night holds the process together, carrying it forward as awareness drifts further from the surface. At this depth, awareness no longer moves in straight lines. It drifts. Sleep researchers describe this as the transition into sustained non-REM sleep, where consciousness becomes fragmented and eventually absent for extended periods. From the inside, it feels like floating without direction, supported by rhythms that no longer belong to conscious thought. The brain is now fully engaged in its nighttime architecture. Yes, slow oscillations coordinate activity across cortical and subcortical regions, creating windows for communication and consolidation. Memory traces from the day are replayed quietly, stripped of emotional charge, integrated into broader networks. What needs to be kept is strengthened. What is no longer useful is allowed to fade. This selective process is essential for mental clarity and emotional balance. As these rhythms stabilize, the autonomic nervous system settles into a steady parasympathetic pattern. Heart rate slows further. Blood pressure remains low. Digestive and metabolic processes receive priority. Energy is redirected from action to repair. This is where the nervous system truly heals. Nerve cells restore their chemical balance. synaptic connections adjust their sensitivity. Overactive circuits are gently dampened. Underactive ones are strengthened. This recalibration helps determine how you will respond to the world tomorrow. Calm tonight shapes resilience tomorrow. The body follows the same logic. Tissues receive signals to repair microdamage accumulated during the day. Protein synthesis increases. Hormonal patterns support regeneration. Even the skin participates, increasing cell turnover under the cover of darkness. None of this requires awareness. You are no longer involved. As consciousness recedes, time loses meaning. Minutes and hours blur together. The brain no longer tracks duration. This timelessness is not a void. It is a state where the body can work without interruption. If dreams begin to form, they do so gently. Not vivid narratives yet, but simple scenes, sensations, movements without urgency. These early dream fragments help bridge deeper stages of sleep later in the night. There is no need to remember them. The nervous system does not measure progress by memory. It measures it by restoration. From here, the journey continues without guidance. The night takes over, guiding brain and body through cycles designed by evolution to restore balance and vitality. You do not need to listen anymore. You do not need to follow. The words can dissolve into the same quiet space that now holds your breath, your heartbeat, and the slow, steady rhythm of healing. Drift freely. The inner night knows exactly what to do. As the inner night deepens, the nervous system settles into a rhythm that feels almost ancient. A rhythm shaped long before language, before schedules, before light extended the day beyond sunset. In this phase, the brain no longer alternates between letting go and checking back in. It commits. Neurons begin firing in slow, synchronized waves that travel across the cortex like gentle tides. These slow oscillations coordinate timing across distant regions, allowing information to be exchanged efficiently without overload. This is not idleness. It is precision at a quieter scale. During these rhythms, synapses, the tiny connections between neurons, undergo recalibration. Some are strengthened, reinforcing patterns that support learning and emotional stability. Others are weakened, clearing space and reducing noise. This process, often described as synaptic homeostasis, helps maintain balance in neural networks. Without it, the brain would gradually lose clarity. The nervous system uses this time to reset thresholds, signals that were amplified during the day, stress responses, vigilance, emotional reactivity are gently turned down. This recalibration determines how easily you will feel overwhelmed tomorrow and how quickly you will recover from challenge. Calm tonight becomes resilience later. Deep within the brainstem, autonomic centers continue refining bodily rhythms. Breathing remains slow and regular. Heartbeat follows a stable pattern that supports efficient circulation. Blood vessels relax slightly, improving nutrient delivery and waste removal. These changes support every organ system. The immune system, freed from daytime demands, shifts its priorities. Cells involved in repair and surveillance increase their activity, scanning tissues quietly and addressing minor damage before it becomes noticeable. Inflammation remains low, allowing healing signals to move freely. This coordination depends on uninterrupted rest. Micro-awakenings, Those brief spikes of alertness that never reach consciousness become less frequent when the nervous system feels safe. Calm input earlier in the night reduces their likelihood, allowing longer stretches of uninterrupted restoration. This is one reason the tone of the evening matters so much, not because the brain needs encouragement, but because it needs consistency. As the night continues, hormonal rhythms align with these neural patterns. Growth hormone release supports tissue repair. Cortisol remains low, no longer interfering with healing processes. Melatonin continues guiding circadian timing, reinforcing the distinction between night and day. The body recognizes this environment as optimal. From the inside, and awareness is minimal now. There may be no sense of self, no narrative, no location. Consciousness has stepped aside, trusting the system to function without supervision. This trust is learned. Each calm night strengthens the association between darkness and safety. Over time, the nervous system becomes more efficient at entering restorative states, reducing the effort required to fall asleep and stay asleep. You are not practicing sleep. You are allowing it. As this rhythm stabilizes, the night prepares to move you through its cycles, each with a specific role in healing, integration, and renewal. The foundation has been laid. The system is ready. There is nothing left to guide, nothing left to explain. The nervous system is now speaking its own language, one built from silence, rhythm, and time. At this depth of rest, the body no longer responds to instruction. It responds to pattern. Sleep science describes the night as a sequence of cycles, each lasting roughly 90 minutes, moving through different stages of non-REM and REM sleep. But from the inside, these cycles are not experienced as stages. They are experienced as continuity, a steady unfolding guided by the body's quiet intelligence. This intelligence does not think, it senses. As neural rhythms stabilize, communication between the brain and peripheral systems becomes more efficient. The vagus nerve continues sending signals that reinforce calm, maintaining coordination between heart, lungs, and digestive organs. This communication supports what researchers call physiological coherence, a state where systems work together rather than in competition. In this state, healing is not directed. It emerges. Cells throughout the body respond to nighttime signals by shifting their priorities. Energy is diverted away from immediate action and toward maintenance. A repair mechanisms activate. Proteins damaged during the day are identified and recycled. New components are synthesized where needed. Even the nervous system itself participates in repair. Myelin, the insulating layer around nerve fibers, undergoes maintenance. Synaptic structures adjust their sensitivity. Neurotransmitter stores are replenished. These changes influence how quickly signals travel and how effectively networks communicate the next day. The mind benefits as well. Emotional memory processing continues in the background, integrating experiences without reactivating their original intensity. This process helps explain why difficult situations can feel more manageable after a good night's sleep. The brain has had time to reorganize its response. None of this requires awareness. You are not observing healing. You are being held by it. As the body moves through these cycles, it periodically enters lighter phases of sleep. During these moments, awareness may briefly surface, then fade again. Each return is brief and neutral, no longer accompanied by effort or evaluation. The system knows what to do. Positive energy at this level is best understood as alignment. Alignment between internal rhythms and the external absence of demand. When this alignment is present, repair proceeds smoothly. The night does not rush. It does not skip steps. It moves through its sequence patiently, addressing what needs attention first, then moving deeper. This prioritization is guided by signals accumulated over the day: physical strain, emotional load, cognitive demand. The body remembers what you experienced, even if you do not, and it responds accordingly. As time passes, the distinction between cycles becomes less relevant. What matters is continuity, the uninterrupted flow of restoration that builds quietly, layer by layer. You do not need to stay with this process. You are already inside it. The words that guided you here can continue to fade. The intelligence beneath them is now in charge, carrying the night forward with steady assurance. Rest continues, repair continues, and the nervous system remains safely, deeply at work. As the body continues its quiet work, something equally important is happening beneath the surface of awareness. Your emotional brain is being gently recalibrated. During waking hours, emotions are often processed in real time, shaped by context, urgency, and social demands. The amygdala reacts quickly. The prefrontal cortex attempts to interpret, regulate, and respond. This system works well for survival, but it can leave emotional residue behind, tension that does not fully resolve by the end of the day. Sleep is where that residue is addressed. In the deeper stages of non-REM sleep, communication patterns between emotional centers shift. The amygdala remains active, but its output changes. Instead of triggering rapid stress responses, it participates in quieter review processes. Emotional memories are revisited without the same physiological intensity that accompanied them during waking life. This allows integration without overwhelm. Research in effective neuroscience shows that during sleep, especially when stress hormones remain low, the brain can decouple emotional charge from memory content. Experiences are retained, but their sharp edges are softened. This is one reason sleep supports emotional resilience and psychological balance. Calm thoughts earlier in the night support this process. When the nervous system enters sleep without lingering threat signals, emotional circuits are less likely to remain on high alert. Instead, they participate in reorganization, adjusting how strongly certain memories influence future reactions. This rebalancing is subtle but powerful. It shapes how you will feel tomorrow when something reminds you of today. It influences how quickly you recover from stress. It affects how safe the world feels to your nervous system. From the inside, you are not aware of any of this. Awareness is no longer needed. The brain does not require observation to perform its work. In fact, the absence of observation allows the process to unfold more efficiently. As emotional circuits recalibrate, the body continues reinforcing safety signals. Heart rhythm remains steady. Muscle tone stays low. Breathing is guided entirely by automatic centers. The entire system communicates the same message. Rest is allowed. This consistency matters. When signals align across systems, repair processes deepen. The brain does not need to interrupt itself with brief awakenings to reassess the environment. Instead, it can remain immersed in restoration. Positive energy, here is not a feeling you experience. It is a pattern your nervous system recognizes, a pattern of non-threat, of continuity, of quiet support. As the night progresses, emotional memories that once carried weight may be reorganized into broader narratives. Instead of isolated moments, they become part of a larger context. This contextualization reduces their ability to trigger disproportionate responses later. This is how sleep protects mental health, not by erasing experience, but by placing it in proportion. The brain performs this work gently, without urgency. It does not rush to conclusions. It does not judge. It simply integrates. And because this process is quiet and automatic, it often goes unnoticed, until its effects are felt in the ease of waking, the steadiness of mood, and the resilience of thought. You are already deep within this process. There is nothing left to initiate, nothing left to guide. The night continues holding your nervous system in a state of safety, allowing emotional circuits to settle into balance as the deeper hours unfold. As emotional processing stabilizes, the brain begins committing more fully to deep rest. This is where the architecture of sleep becomes most pronounced. In sleep science, this phase is often associated with slow-wave sleep, characterized by high-amplitude, low-frequency brain activity. But from the inside, there is no sensation of waves or depth. There is only absence, an absence of effort, of monitoring, of self-reference. The brain has stepped away. Neurons now alternate between states of activity and silence in a highly organized pattern. These alternating phases allow cells to recover, replenish energy stores, and synchronize their timing with neighboring networks. This synchronization is essential for long-term neural health. Without it, communication becomes inefficient. During these slow rhythms, the brain strengthens important connections while allowing others to weaken. This selective adjustment preserves learning while preventing overload. It is a form of pruning and reinforcement that keeps neural systems flexible and responsive. At the same time, the body continues deep repair. Muscle tissue recovers from microstrain accumulated during the day. Bone remodeling processes quietly adjust structural integrity. The liver increases its metabolic cleanup, processing byproducts and maintaining chemical balance. Even the cardiovascular system benefits, as reduced pressure allows blood vessels to rest and recover. This is systemic healing. Each organ operates within its own timeline, and yet all are coordinated by the same overarching signal: night. Darkness, quiet, and internal rhythm combine to create the conditions needed for this level of restoration. The nervous system remains deeply parasympathetic. Stress-related pathways are inactive. Defensive responses are minimal. This allows energy to be allocated where it is most needed. Importantly, this depth of rest is fragile in the presence of perceived threat. Even subtle signals of urgency can fragment slow-wave sleep. That is why the gentle descent into the night matters so much. Safety is cumulative. Each calm moment earlier in the evening strengthens the nervous system's confidence that it can remain here. That confidence reduces the likelihood of interruption, allowing deep rest to persist. From the inside, there is no awareness of time, and minutes and hours pass without registration. Consciousness has fully withdrawn. The mind is no longer a narrator. It is a background condition. This withdrawal is not loss. it is conservation. By suspending awareness, the brain reduces metabolic demand. Energy saved from conscious processing is redirected toward maintenance and repair. This efficiency is one of the reasons sleep is so deeply restorative. You are not present for this work, and that is exactly how it is meant to be. The night carries the process forward, moving through its cycles with steady precision. Deep rest will gradually give way to lighter phases, then return again, each pass refining the balance between recovery and integration. For now, there is nothing to follow, nothing to hear. The architecture of deep rest has taken shape, and it will continue supporting your nervous system quietly, patiently, as the night unfolds on its own terms. Deep within this steady night rhythm, the work becomes smaller, finer, more precise. Not at the level of thoughts or feelings, but at the level of cells. Every cell in your body carries instructions for maintenance and repair. During the day, many of these processes are postponed in favor of immediate action. At night, with external demands removed, those instructions are finally carried out. In deep rest, cells shift into conservation mode. Energy is no longer spent on rapid response. Instead, it is invested in correction. DNA repair enzymes become more active, identifying and fixing small errors that accumulate naturally through metabolism and environmental exposure. Proteins damaged by oxidative stress are broken down and replaced. Cellular membranes restore their optimal balance. This is not dramatic healing. It is continuous upkeep. The nervous system plays a coordinating role in this process. By maintaining low levels of stress hormones, it prevents interference with repair pathways. Cortisol remains suppressed. Insulin sensitivity improves. Growth-promoting signals become more effective. This hormonal environment allows tissues to recover efficiently. Muscle fibers repair microscopic strain. Connective tissue regains elasticity. Even bone undergoes quiet remodeling. These processes are guided by circadian timing. The body knows when repair is most efficient, and it aligns its efforts accordingly. Night is not simply a pause in activity. It is a scheduled maintenance window built into biology. The brain benefits from this cellular attention as well. Neurons restore their internal balance of ions, preparing for efficient signaling the next day. Mitochondria, the energy producers inside cells, optimize their function, reducing fatigue and improving resilience. Glial cells continue supporting neurons, clearing debris, and maintaining the environment required for healthy communication. All of this unfolds without awareness. You are not supervising your recovery. Your body is executing it. Positive energy, at this depth, is the absence of internal conflict. Systems are not competing for resources. They are aligned by the same rhythm. This alignment allows repair to proceed without delay. As these processes continue, the nervous system maintains its quiet oversight. It does not intervene unless necessary. It does not signal alarm. It remains in a state of trust, allowing the body to complete its work. This trust is essential. When the nervous system feels safe, repair can go deeper. When it does not, resources are diverted toward vigilance. Tonight, vigilance has been set aside. Time passes without markers. The body works through layers, addressing what is most urgent first, then moving on. This prioritization is guided by subtle signals accumulated during the day: physical exertion, emotional strain, cognitive load. The body remembers all of it, and it responds. By morning, many of these repairs will be complete, though you will never notice them directly. Their effects will be felt instead as steadiness, clarity, and ease of movement. For now, the process continues quietly, cell by cell, rhythm by rhythm, as the night holds everything in place. As repair continues, something lasting is being shaped beneath the surface. The nervous system is not only resting, it is learning. Neural systems are plastic. They adjust their expectations based on repeated experience. Each night of uninterrupted, calm sleep provides data. It teaches the nervous system what safety feels like and how long it can remain there. Over time, these experiences influence baseline tone. When nights are consistently gentle, the nervous system becomes less reactive during the day. Stress responses resolve more quickly. Emotional spikes are shorter. The threshold for alarm gradually rises. This is not optimism. It is conditioning. Sleep trains regulation. During deep rest, synaptic connections involved in threat detection and stress response are recalibrated. Signals that once triggered rapid activation may now produce a more measured response. This recalibration supports emotional stability and cognitive flexibility. The body feels this as ease. Heart rate variability improves, reflecting better balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic activity. Digestive rhythms become more regular. Immune responses become more proportional, less likely to overreact. These changes do not announce themselves. They accumulate quietly. The nervous system uses sleep to update its internal models. It learns that stillness can be trusted, that quiet does not precede danger, that darkness can be safe. This learning carries forward. Tomorrow, when challenges arise, the nervous system will draw on these memories. It will remember how to return to calm more easily. It will spend less energy on unnecessary vigilance. Recovery will come faster. This is how sleep supports resilience. Positive energy, in this sense, is not something you generate during the day. It is something your nervous system practices at night. Each calm night reinforces the same lesson. Regulation is possible. As the night continues, the brain cycles gently between deeper and lighter phases of sleep. Each cycle refines the balance further. The system checks in briefly, then returns to restoration, confident in its surroundings. Awareness remains absent or minimal. That absence is productive. The nervous system does not need your presence to learn. It learns through rhythm, repetition, and safety. As dawn approaches hours away, the foundation for the next day is already being laid. Neural thresholds are adjusted. Hormonal rhythms are prepared. Energy systems are restored. You do not need to be aware of any of this. The night continues its quiet instruction, teaching the nervous system how to remain calm, how to recover, and how to trust the spaces between effort. And it does so gently, patiently, without ever asking for your attention. As the night continues, the work of restoration becomes more refined, not louder, not more noticeable, just more precise. During these hours, deep sleep supports one of the brain's most important functions, maintaining clarity. Throughout the day, neural circuits are constantly engaged, responding to sensory input, decisions, emotions, and movement. This continuous activity creates metabolic byproducts and subtle imbalances that, if left unresolved, would gradually impair attention and judgment. My deep sleep resolves this quietly. Within slow-wave sleep, synchronized neural firing creates windows where large-scale communication pauses. During these pauses, neurons reduce energy demand and restore chemical gradients across their membranes. This reset is essential for efficient signaling the next day. Without it, neurons would become noisy, less precise, and more easily fatigued. Clarity depends on silence. At the same time, the brain fine-tunes the strength of synaptic connections. Circuits that were heavily used during the day are gently adjusted, preventing over-amplification. Less relevant pathways are allowed to weaken. This balance supports flexible thinking, emotional regulation, and sustained focus. From the outside, this looks like stillness. From the inside, it is careful maintenance. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for attention, decision-making, and impulse control, benefits significantly from this phase. Research has shown that deep sleep supports the integrity of these executive networks, allowing them to function with less effort and greater stability when you wake. This is why rest restores judgment. Calm nights reduce mental noise. They sharpen signal. The nervous system continues to support this process by maintaining low arousal. Stress hormones remain suppressed. Inflammatory signaling stays minimal. These conditions allow neural repair to proceed without interruption. Importantly, this renewal does not require dreaming. It does not require awareness. It requires continuity. Each uninterrupted stretch of deep sleep adds another layer of clarity. Over time, this accumulates into resilience, the ability to think clearly under pressure, to respond rather than react, to recover more quickly after challenge. Positive energy at this level is the brain functioning without friction. Signals move where they are needed without interference. Attention can settle naturally instead of being forced. As the night advances, the brain prepares to transition through lighter phases again, carrying the benefits of deep restoration forward. These transitions are smooth, guided by internal timing rather than external demand. You remain absent from the process, and that absence is useful. The night continues working quietly, preserving the brain's capacity to focus, adapt, and remain steady in the face of complexity. Nothing needs to be added. Nothing needs to be guided. The system knows how to renew itself when given the space to do so. Beneath the surface of deep rest, another layer of healing unfolds, one that shapes how the body responds to stress long after the night has passed. The stress response is not a single switch. It is a network of interacting systems involving the brain, hormones, immune signals, and autonomic pathways. During the day, this network is activated frequently, often for reasons that are psychological rather than physical. Over time, repeated activation can leave the system slightly elevated, even when danger has passed. Sleep recalibrates this. During sustained rest, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, the core stress signaling pathway, reduces its activity. Cortisol production remains low. Feedback loops reset their sensitivity. This allows the system to respond more proportionally the next day, rather than remaining on constant alert. This recalibration is subtle, but it matters deeply. When stress systems are balanced, recovery from challenge becomes faster. Emotional responses become less extreme. Physical tension resolves more easily. The body learns that it does not need to stay prepared for threat at all times. Calm nights teach this lesson repeatedly. At the same time, inflammatory signaling continues to decrease. Immune cells shift away from defensive postures and toward maintenance and repair. This balance supports tissue health, metabolic efficiency, and overall resilience. The nervous system plays a central coordinating role here. By maintaining parasympathetic dominance, it ensures that stress-related circuits remain quiet. This quiet allows other systems to complete their work without interruption. You do not feel this happening, but you benefit from it. Over time, repeated nights of deep, uninterrupted sleep lower baseline stress levels. The body becomes less reactive to minor challenges. The threshold for alarm rises. This is not suppression, it is regulation. Positive energy, in this context, is the body's ability to remain steady, to encounter stimulation without being overwhelmed, to return to baseline without delay. As the night progresses, these adjustments are reinforced. The brain checks in briefly during lighter phases, then returns to restoration, confident in the environment. Each cycle refines the balance further. There is no effort involved, no instruction required. The night continues shaping how your body responds to the world, smoothing sharp edges, restoring proportionality, and reinforcing the message that safety can persist beyond the absence of light. You remain deeply supported by this process, even as awareness stays distant. The work continues on its own schedule, guided by rhythms that have evolved precisely for this purpose. And so, quietly, the stress systems soften, reset, and prepare you for another day, without urgency, without demand, and without ever asking for your attention. As the night moves forward, the brain turns its attention to one of its most delicate tasks, not storing facts, not replaying events exactly as they happened, but reshaping meaning. Memory is not a recording. It is a living structure that changes each time it is revisited. During the day, memories are often linked to urgency, emotion, and context. At night, those same memories are approached differently. The brain revisits them without the pressure to respond. This is where integration happens. During non-REM sleep, memory traces stored in the hippocampus are gradually communicated to the cortex. This transfer allows short-term experiences to become part of long-term understanding. What matters is kept. What does not is allowed to fade. This selective process preserves coherence without overload. Importantly, emotional tone changes during this transfer. Neuroscientific studies show that when memories are reactivated during sleep, they are processed with reduced emotional intensity. The brain can examine experience without reliving it. This allows meaning to remain while stress dissolves. This is how learning becomes wisdom. The nervous system supports this process by maintaining a calm internal environment. Low cortisol levels prevent emotional amplification. Parasympathetic dominance ensures that memory processing is not interrupted by stress responses. The brain is free to reorganize without defense. You do not experience this as remembering. You experience it later as clarity. Tomorrow, something may feel more settled than it did today. A situation may feel less charged. A decision may seem simpler. This is not coincidence. It is the result of quiet integration that occurred while you were absent. Positive energy, here, is coherence between experience and meaning. The nervous system no longer needs to treat memory as a threat. It treats it as information. As this integration continues, neural networks become more efficient, and connections that support understanding strengthen. Those that reinforce rumination weaken. This balance reduces mental noise and supports emotional steadiness. The brain does not rush this work. It revisits memory in waves. Each cycle of sleep brings another opportunity to refine meaning, to adjust emotional weight, to align experience with a broader context. Over time, this repeated process shapes perspective itself. You are not directing this. You are not choosing outcomes. The brain knows how to do this when it feels safe. As the night continues, awareness remains distant. There is no sense of self-evaluating progress. That absence allows memory to be handled gently without interference. The nervous system maintains the same message throughout. Nothing is required. This consistency allows integration to complete its work and laying the groundwork for emotional balance and cognitive clarity that will emerge quietly in waking life. Beneath all the night's activity, a deeper imprint is forming, not in thought, not in emotion, but in expectation. The nervous system remembers patterns. It learns from repeated states, not isolated moments. Each night spent in calm, uninterrupted rest adds to a growing archive of safety. This archive influences how the body anticipates the world. When safety is experienced consistently, the nervous system adjusts its baseline assumptions. It becomes less likely to interpret ambiguity as threat. It recovers more quickly from stimulation. It spends less energy on unnecessary vigilance. This is not optimism. It is conditioning. During sleep, especially in the deeper stages, the brain updates its predictive models. These models help determine how strongly the body reacts to future input. When nights are calm, predictions shift. The system learns that rest is possible, that quiet can last, that nothing bad follows letting go. This learning is embodied. Heart rhythms become more flexible. Muscle tone remains lower at baseline. Stress hormones are released more sparingly. Even posture during the day can change subtly, reflecting reduced bracing. These shifts do not require awareness. They are automatic. Positive energy, in this sense, is not something you summon. It is something your nervous system carries forward from nights like this one. It is the residue of safety embedded in physiology. As the night deepens and cycles continue, this imprint strengthens. Each uninterrupted stretch reinforces the same lesson. The body does not need to stay prepared at all times. It can trust rhythm. It can trust recovery. This trust shapes everything. It influences how you breathe under pressure, how quickly tension resolves, how easily focus returns after distraction. Over time, it even affects health outcomes, as reduced chronic stress supports immune balance, metabolic efficiency, and cardiovascular stability. The body remembers calm. As dawn remains distant, the night continues its quiet instruction. Neural circuits are adjusted. Hormonal patterns are refined. Expectations are rewritten without words. You are not present for this learning, and that is exactly why it works. The absence of conscious interference allows the nervous system to update itself fully, without negotiation or resistance. As the night carries on, this long memory of safety takes root, shaping how the body will meet tomorrow. Not with force, not with effort, but with a steadiness that comes from having rested deeply and well. The process continues, layer by layer, held gently by darkness, rhythm, and time. As the night continues its steady rhythm, the body begins making quiet decisions. Not conscious decisions, not choices you can feel, but biological priorities. Healing is not random. It follows an internal order shaped by urgency, availability of resources, and circadian timing. During sleep, when energy is no longer required for action, the body assesses where attention is needed most. This assessment happens continuously. Tissues that experience the greatest strain during the day receive more resources. Areas with higher inflammatory signals are addressed first. Any neural circuits that were heavily engaged are given time to recalibrate. This triage allows the body to work efficiently rather than attempting everything at once. The nervous system coordinates this process. By maintaining a low arousal state, it prevents competition between systems. When stress signals are quiet, healing pathways are not interrupted. Blood flow can be redirected. Immune cells can focus. Hormonal signals can remain consistent. This coordination is essential. If the nervous system were to re-enter alert mode, even briefly, resources would shift toward protection. Healing would pause. That is why uninterrupted sleep matters. Not because the body needs more time, but because it needs continuity. Positive energy here is uninterrupted cooperation. Cells communicate without interference. Signals travel along established pathways. Repair proceeds methodically, addressing what needs attention now and leaving the rest for later cycles. Some processes complete within a single night. Others unfold over many nights. The body keeps track. It remembers what was left unfinished and returns to it when conditions allow. This memory is not conscious, but it is precise. Over time, repeated nights of quality sleep allow deeper repairs to progress, those that require consistency rather than intensity. As this prioritization unfolds, the nervous system remains quietly observant. It monitors internal conditions without signaling alarm. This restraint allows healing to proceed without disruption. From the inside, there is no sensation of being repaired. There is only absence. Absence of effort. Absence of tension. Absence of monitoring. The body prefers to work this way. As cycles of sleep continue, the focus may shift. After addressing immediate needs, the system moves on to maintenance, reinforcing structures, refining communication, optimizing efficiency. This ongoing upkeep prevents small issues from accumulating into larger ones. Sleep is preventive care. It is the body's way of staying ahead, of correcting course before imbalance becomes noticeable. This prevention is quiet, steady, and deeply effective when given the space to operate. You are not involved in these decisions, and that is a gift. The body does not need permission to heal. It needs conditions. Tonight, those conditions are present. As the night moves on, this prioritization continues seamlessly, guided by internal signals and evolutionary wisdom. The work is not hurried. It does not announce itself. It simply proceeds, one adjustment at a time, as the nervous system holds everything steady and safe. With each passing cycle, something subtle strengthens beneath the surface. A relationship. The brain and body are not separate systems. They are partners in regulation, constantly exchanging information. During the day, this exchange is often dominated by urgency. At night, the tone changes. Communication becomes slower, quieter, more cooperative. This is where trust deepens. When the brain consistently allows the body to enter restorative states without interruption, the body responds by maintaining stability. When the body maintains stability, the brain learns that it does not need to stay alert. This feedback loop reinforces calm. Trust builds over time. Neuroscientific research shows that repeated experiences of safety alter how interoceptive signals from within the body, are interpreted. Sensations that once triggered concern are now recognized as neutral. The brain becomes less reactive to normal bodily fluctuations. This reduces anxiety at a foundational level. The body feels this as ease. The brain experiences it as quiet confidence. During deep sleep, this trust is practiced without words. Each uninterrupted phase reinforces the same message. Systems can operate independently without oversight. Healing does not require supervision. Regulation does not require effort. Positive energy, in this sense, is mutual confidence between systems. As this confidence grows, the nervous system becomes more efficient at transitioning between states. Waking no longer requires abrupt activation. Rest no longer requires struggle. The boundaries soften. This efficiency conserves energy. Less effort is spent on switching modes. More is available for living, adapting, responding. Over time, this contributes to vitality and resilience that feel natural rather than forced. The night is where this efficiency is learned. As the brain-body relationship strengthens, internal rhythms align more precisely with circadian timing. Hormonal release follows clearer patterns. Temperature regulation becomes more stable. Appetite signals normalize. These changes support overall health in ways that extend far beyond sleep itself. You will not notice these adjustments directly. You will notice their absence. Less friction, less reactivity, less need to push or control. As dawn remains hours away, the night continues nurturing this trust. Each cycle reinforces cooperation. Each return to rest confirms safety. There is no rush. The system moves at its own pace, guided by rhythms that evolved to protect and restore. You do not need to guide this process. It is already underway. As the night carries on, the deepening trust between brain and body becomes a quiet foundation, one that will support you through waking hours without drawing attention to itself. The work continues gently, invisibly, as sleep holds everything together in steady balance. As the hours pass quietly, another layer of regulation continues its careful work. Time itself is being adjusted inside you. Every cell in your body follows a rhythm. Not the rhythm of clocks or schedules, but a biological timing system shaped by light, darkness, and repeated patterns of rest. This system, known as the circadian network, does not sleep. It coordinates. During the night, signals from the brain's central clock and the hypothalamus move gently through the body, aligning internal processes with the absence of light. Temperature regulation shifts. Hormonal release follows precise timing. Metabolism slows where it can, conserving energy for repair. This timing is not rigid, it is responsive. When sleep begins calmly, without struggle or interruption, circadian signals remain smooth and coherent. Melatonin continues guiding night processes. Cortisol remains low, preserving the boundary between night and day. The body knows where it is in time. This clarity matters. When internal clocks remain aligned, Systems work together rather than against each other. Digestion rests when it should. Immune activity peaks when it is most effective. Neural repair occurs during its optimal window. The body does not waste effort correcting misalignment. This is why calm nights feel different. Positive energy here is temporal harmony. Processes occur when they are meant to, without being rushed or delayed. The nervous system does not have to compensate for confusion about time. As the night deepens, peripheral clocks in organs like the liver, muscles, and immune tissues receive reinforcing signals. These clocks adjust gene expression, turning repair-related genes on and energy-demanding ones down. This genetic timing supports long-term health at a foundational level. None of this is dramatic. It is precise. The nervous system supports this alignment by maintaining stillness. Low arousal prevents disruptive signals that could confuse timing. Each uninterrupted cycle strengthens the coherence of the system. Over time, this coherence influences how easily you feel tired at night and alert in the morning. It shapes sleep quality across days, not just hours. Calm nights teach the body when to rest and when to rise. This learning accumulates. As awareness remains absent, the internal clock continues its quiet calibration. It does not need correction. It needs consistency. Tonight provides that consistency. The night continues, holding time gently in place, allowing biological rhythms to settle into alignment that will carry forward into waking life. Deep within sustained rest, the brain attends to another subtle task. It recalibrates how you sense the world. Throughout the day, sensory systems are constantly stimulated. Light, sound, movement, texture, and emotion all flow through neural pathways designed to detect change. This constant input keeps sensory thresholds elevated. Without rest, these systems can become over-responsive. Sleep restores balance. During deep stages of non-REM sleep, sensory processing regions reduce their responsiveness. The brain no longer needs to interpret or react. This withdrawal allows sensory circuits to reset their sensitivity, preparing them for the next day without fatigue. This reset is protective. Auditory pathways recover from constant noise. Visual systems rest from light exposure. Proprioceptive networks, those that track body position, release their constant monitoring. Even interoceptive systems, which sense internal states, become quieter. The result is clarity. Yeah, when sensory thresholds are balanced, the world feels less overwhelming. Sounds are easier to tolerate. Light feels softer. The body feels more stable within space. This balance supports calm perception and emotional steadiness. Positive energy, in this sense, is reduced noise. The nervous system supports this recalibration by maintaining low vigilance. Stress responses remain quiet. Defensive postures do not interfere. Sensory systems are free to reset without interruption. This process continues gradually, cycle by cycle. If awareness surfaces briefly, it does not disrupt restoration. The brain checks in, finds no threat, and returns to rest. Each successful return reinforces the same lesson. Perception does not need to be sharp right now. As the night moves forward, sensory balance improves quietly. The brain prepares to meet the world again with refreshed thresholds, less reactivity, and greater ease. You will not notice this directly. You will notice it tomorrow, in how sound feels less sharp, in how movement feels more fluid, in how perception feels less demanding. For now, the work continues beneath awareness. The night holds sensory systems in gentle suspension, allowing them to restore their natural balance. Nothing needs to be sensed. Nothing needs to be noticed. Rest continues, steady and unbroken, as the body and brain prepare quietly for another day, guided by rhythms that do not require thought or attention. As restoration continues beneath awareness, the brain turns to a system that shapes how you move through the world tomorrow. Not memory, not emotion, but motivation. Motivation is not willpower. It is a neurochemical balance that determines how effort feels. During the day, this balance is constantly adjusted as you respond to demands, rewards, and expectations. Over time, these adjustments can drift, leaving effort feeling heavier than it needs to be. Sleep corrects this quietly. During sustained non-REM sleep, dopaminergic pathways, the circuits that support motivation, reward anticipation, and engagement, undergo recalibration. Dopamine availability is not increased dramatically. Instead, sensitivity is refined. Receptors adjust their responsiveness, restoring balance between effort and reward. This matters deeply. When motivational systems are calibrated, actions feel proportionate. Tasks do not require excessive push. Curiosity returns more easily. Engagement feels natural rather than forced. This is not enthusiasm. It is alignment. The nervous system supports this recalibration by maintaining low arousal. Stress signals can interfere with motivational balance, skewing effort toward avoidance or compulsion. Calm nights prevent that interference, allowing reward circuits to reset without distortion. Positive energy here is willingness without pressure. The brain does not decide what you will want tomorrow. It prepares the ground so wanting does not feel costly. This preparation happens without awareness, guided by rhythm rather than intention. As the night proceeds, these circuits are revisited across cycles. Each pass refines sensitivity a little more, smoothing extremes and restoring proportionality. Over time, this contributes to resilience against burnout and emotional fatigue. You will feel this later as ease, in how starting feels simpler, in how persistence feels steadier, in how rest and action feel better balanced. For now, the process remains quiet. Motivation is not being created, it is being tuned. The system does not rush. It adjusts in small increments, respecting the complexity of the network. As awareness stays distant, the night continues shaping the conditions for engagement without strain. There is no directive, no outcome to achieve. The work unfolds on its own schedule. As the hours pass, another subtle shift begins. The sense of identity itself grows quieter. Identity, in waking life, is an active construction. It relies on memory, intention, and continuity. The brain constantly references who you are, what you are doing, and what comes next. At night, this construction relaxes, not disappears, but softens. During lighter phases of sleep that follow deep restoration, the brain allows associative networks to loosen. Boundaries between concepts blur. The strict organization of waking thought gives way to a more fluid mode. This is the prelude to dreaming. Dreams do not begin as stories. They begin as softness. Neuroscience shows that as REM sleep approaches, activity patterns shift. Emotional and sensory regions become more active, while executive control remains subdued. This combination allows imagery and sensation to arise without the constraints of logic or self-monitoring. This shift requires trust. The nervous system must feel safe enough to allow identity to loosen. Calm earlier in the night supports this by reducing the need for vigilance. When threat detection remains quiet, the mind can explore without defense. Positive energy. And here is permission. Permission for the mind to wander without consequence. Permission for images to form without meaning. Permission for experience to arise without control. As this permission settles in, the sense of I becomes less central. Awareness may feel less localized. Thoughts may feel less owned. This is not dissociation. It is a natural transition toward dreaming, where experience is no longer anchored to waking identity. The body remains steady throughout this shift. Autonomic rhythms stay calm. Breathing remains slow. Muscle tone remains low. The nervous system holds the environment constant while the mind changes its mode. This stability is essential. It allows dreaming to emerge as a gentle continuation rather than a sudden departure. The brain does not jump. It drifts. As the night continues, this softening will deepen and recede in waves, each cycle allowing identity to loosen a little more, then return briefly, then loosen again. This rhythm supports emotional processing and creative integration without strain. You do not need to observe this. You do not need to follow. The mind knows how to transition when given safety and time. The night provides both. As words fade further and imagery begins to stir beneath the surface, the groundwork for dreaming is quietly complete. The system is ready to move into its next mode, guided by rhythms older than thought, held gently by the same calm that has carried you here. As identity softens further, the mind begins to move in a new way. Not forward, not backward, but inward. Dreaming does not arrive all at once. It emerges gradually, like color spreading through water. At first, there are only impressions, movement without direction, sensation without narrative. The brain is not yet telling stories. It is testing freedom. Neuroscience shows that during early REM transitions, activity increases in sensory and emotional regions, while areas responsible for critical evaluation remain quiet. This allows experience to arise without judgment. Images form without explanation. Feelings appear without labels. This is not randomness. It is exploration. The dreaming brain is rehearsing flexibility. It is allowing networks to communicate in new combinations, unconstrained by waking rules. This flexibility supports creativity, emotional integration, and problem solving, even though none of that is apparent in the moment. The nervous system supports this shift by maintaining a stable background. Autonomic rhythms remain calm. The body is still. Muscle tone stays low due to protective inhibition that prevents physical movement during dreams. This allows the mind to wander safely. Safety is essential here. When the nervous system feels secure, dreaming can unfold gently. Emotional material can surface without triggering stress responses. The brain can explore associations without needing to resolve them. Positive energy, at this stage, is openness without demand. Dream imagery may begin as fleeting scenes, a sense of motion, a color, a place that does not quite exist. These early dreams are often light and fluid, serving as a bridge between deep rest and more vivid dreaming later in the night. There is no need to remember any of this. The purpose of dreaming is not recall. it is integration. As the night continues, these dream currents may deepen and recede, following the natural cycles of sleep. Each return to REM allows the brain to process emotional and cognitive material from a different angle without pressure. The body remains uninvolved. Breathing stays slow. Heart rhythm remains steady. The nervous system keeps the environment constant while the mind explores. This division of labor allows dreaming to proceed without risk. From the inside, awareness may flicker, appear briefly, then fade again. Each fade is smoother than the last. The brain recognizes the pattern and follows it willingly. There is no struggle, no effort to maintain coherence. The mind flows where it needs to go. As dreaming settles in, the work of the night expands beyond repair into integration. Experiences from the day are woven into broader narratives. Emotions find context. Meaning emerges without analysis. You do not participate in this process. You are carried by it. The night continues, guiding the mind through landscapes that do not require attention, only permission. The nervous system remains calm, steady, and supportive, ensuring that exploration remains gentle and restorative. Drift continues. Dreaming deepens, and the night holds everything in quiet balance. As dreaming becomes more established, the mind occasionally touches moments of clarity. Not the clarity of logic, but the clarity of understanding without words. These moments do not arrive as conclusions. They arrive as feelings of rightness, connection, or resolution. The brain is not explaining. It is aligning. Neuroscientists describe this as associative insight, when distant neural networks synchronize briefly, allowing new patterns to emerge. During REM sleep, this synchronization is more likely because constraints are loosened. The mind can connect ideas, emotions, and memories that are rarely linked during waking thought. This is where quiet insight lives. It does not announce itself. It does not demand attention. It passes through like a soft current. You may never remember these moments, yet their effects remain. They influence how you perceive, how you respond, how you understand situations without knowing why. The nervous system absorbs coherence even when awareness does not. Positive energy here is integration without effort. The emotional brain and cognitive networks briefly align. Tension dissolves around certain themes. Unresolved feelings find a place to rest. The system does not force closure. It allows alignment to happen naturally. The body remains still throughout this peak. Autonomic rhythms are stable. The nervous system does not interrupt the process with alert signals. Safety has been established well enough to allow this depth. This is why the earlier descent mattered. Calm at the beginning of the night created the conditions for insight now. Not insight you can use immediately, but insight that reshapes your internal landscape quietly. As these moments pass, dreaming continues. The mind moves on, exploring other combinations, other sensations. There is no need to hold on to anything. The brain keeps what it needs and releases the rest. This peak does not last long. It does not need to. Its value lies in its subtlety. Over time, repeated nights like this shape perspective. They reduce mental rigidity. They support emotional flexibility. They allow understanding to emerge without struggle. You will feel this later as ease, in how problems feel less sharp, in how reactions feel less intense, in how meaning feels closer to the surface. For now, the night continues guiding the mind gently downward again. away from peaks and back into rest. Dreaming will ebb and flow. Restoration will continue beneath it all. There is nothing to remember, nothing to grasp. The work has been done quietly, without effort, exactly as the nervous system prefers. As the brief peaks of insight fade, the mind does not lose what it touched. It settles it, meaning, once formed, does not need to stay in awareness. The brain is skilled at letting understanding sink below the surface, where it can influence perception and behavior without constant recall. This is one of the quiet strengths of sleep. It allows coherence to remain even when memory does not. During these phases, neural networks that briefly synchronize during insight begin stabilizing their new relationships. Connections that proved useful are reinforced. Those that were momentary are allowed to dissolve. This selective stabilization ensures that meaning persists without occupying attention. The nervous system supports this by maintaining consistency. Autonomic rhythms remain calm. There is no signal demanding a return to wakefulness. The body stays still, protecting the mind's ability to complete integration without interruption. This is consolidation at its most subtle. Unlike memory consolidation, which organizes facts and events, meaning consolidation organizes interpretation. It adjusts how experiences are framed. It influences expectations, emotional tone, and the sense of continuity across time. You do not feel this happening. You feel its absence later, in the ease of response, in the reduced need to explain, in the quiet sense that something fits better than it did before. Positive energy here is coherence that no longer requires reinforcement. The system does not need to revisit insight repeatedly. It has already absorbed what matters. As dreaming continues, content becomes less vivid again. Scenes soften, sensations blur. The mind moves away from active exploration and back toward rest. This ebb is natural. The brain does not remain at peaks. It returns to baseline. Baseline now is calmer. The nervous system registers this as success. It recognizes that the work of the night is proceeding as intended. There is no need to intervene, no need to check the environment. Safety remains intact. In these moments, sleep becomes less dynamic and more spacious. Awareness may be entirely absent. Time continues passing without registration. The brain alternates between deeper rest and lighter dreaming, maintaining balance without effort. This balance is not fragile. It is resilient. Each cycle reinforces stability. The system knows how to recover from brief shifts without losing continuity. This resilience carries forward into waking life, where interruptions are more frequent. You are not present for any of this, and that absence allows meaning to settle fully. As the night continues, the mind prepares to release even this quiet integration, returning attention to the body's ongoing maintenance. Dreams may become simpler, less symbolic, or they may disappear entirely for a time. Both are signs of progress, and the nervous system remains calm, steady, and supportive. There is nothing left to process urgently. The work has moved from discovery to maintenance. Meaning has found its place. With much of the night's integration complete, sleep enters a wide, unremarkable stretch, a plateau. This phase is not dramatic, it is effective. In this plateau, the brain spends less time exploring and more time sustaining. Neural activity remains slow and synchronized. The alternation between deeper and lighter stages continues. but transitions are smooth and uneventful. There is little need for adjustment. The nervous system appreciates this simplicity. Autonomic balance remains stable. Heart rhythm is regular. Breathing is effortless. Muscle tone stays low. The body is no longer shifting priorities rapidly. It is maintaining what has already been established. This maintenance is essential. During this time, repair processes that require duration rather than intensity continue. Connective tissues benefit from sustained low stress. Immune surveillance proceeds without interruption. Metabolic systems refine efficiency, adjusting fuel use and storage quietly. The brain uses this plateau to reinforce its earlier work. Synaptic changes are stabilized. Hormonal rhythms remain aligned with circadian timing. There is no rush toward the next stage. The system is content to remain here. Positive energy at this point is steadiness, not excitement, not insight, just balance held over time. This steadiness teaches the nervous system that rest can last, that it does not need to prepare for immediate transition. This lesson is important. It reduces the likelihood of premature waking and supports continuity across the night. Awareness is minimal or absent. That absence conserves energy. The brain does not monitor progress. It does not evaluate sleep quality. It simply continues. This lack of self-observation prevents disruption. Sleep remains self-sustaining. As hours pass, the plateau gradually gives way to gentle fluctuations. Lighter phases appear briefly, then recede. The system checks in, finds no threat, and returns to stillness. Each check is shorter than the last. This pattern reflects confidence. The nervous system no longer needs reassurance. It trusts the environment and the rhythm it has established. Repair and maintenance proceed uninterrupted. You will never remember this part of the night. And yet, it contributes deeply to how rested you feel. It is here that the body regains reserve, where energy is not spent but saved, where systems are not optimized further but allowed to remain stable. The night holds this plateau quietly, without signaling its importance. It does not announce completion. It simply continues until it is time to move on. For now, stillness remains, rest remains, and the nervous system stays gently at ease, supported by darkness, rhythm, and the absence of demand. As the long plateau of rest continues, subtle shifts begin preparing the system for change. Not waking yet, just readiness. The brain does not move abruptly between states. It transitions gradually, guided by internal timing rather than external demand. As the night progresses, circadian signals begin adjusting again. Melatonin remains present, but its influence softens. A body temperature starts a slow rise. Neural networks begin loosening their deep synchronization. This preparation is gentle. During these phases, the brain alternates more frequently between lighter and deeper sleep. These brief light phases are not interruptions. They are calibrations. The system checks its surroundings, confirms safety, and returns to rest with renewed confidence. This rhythm prevents shock. Neuroscience shows that these transitions support smooth re-entry into waking consciousness later on. They allow executive networks to re-engage gradually without triggering stress responses. The nervous system learns that shifting states does not require alarm. Positive energy here is adaptability. The body practices moving without tension. The brain rehearses awareness without urgency. As this preparation continues, hormonal patterns begin shifting subtly. Cortisol remains low, but starts following its natural early morning curve. This gradual rise supports alertness later without disrupting ongoing repair. Growth and repair processes continue, overlapping briefly with readiness. The system does not rush this overlap. It allows functions to coexist. From the inside, there is little awareness of any of this. Sleep remains dominant. Dreams, if present, are lighter and more fragmented. Thought does not cohere. Identity remains distant. The nervous system remains calm. These preparations do not mean rest is ending. They mean rest has been sufficient enough to allow transition when the time comes. This distinction matters. The body does not prepare to wake because of demand. It prepares because cycles have completed. This sense of completion is biological. Repair has progressed far enough. Integration has settled. Maintenance has been sustained. The system is ready to change mode when conditions align. Until then, sleep continues to hold everything steady. You are not being pulled upward. You are being supported. As the night nears its final phases, the groundwork for a gentle return is quietly laid. Nothing is forced. Nothing is announced. The nervous system continues communicating safety, ensuring that even transition remains calm. Rest remains primary. Readiness grows softly beneath it. As the final hours of the night approach, the work of sleep does not end. It prepares to continue. What has been established during these hours does not disappear with waking. The nervous system carries it forward. Calm does not remain in the dark. It becomes part of baseline. During the last cycles of sleep, the brain integrates the night's adjustments into waking readiness. Neural thresholds are set. Hormonal rhythms are aligned. Emotional circuits remain balanced. The system does not reset to urgency. It carries steadiness with it. This carryover is essential. When sleep has been gentle and uninterrupted, the transition into wakefulness feels smoother. The nervous system does not need to activate abruptly. Awareness returns gradually, without alarm. The body feels supported rather than propelled. Positive energy here is continuity. The calm you experience during sleep becomes the foundation for how you meet the day. Reactions are less sharp. Focus feels more available. Recovery from stress is faster. These effects are not created in the morning. They are inherited from the night. As awareness begins to approach the surface, it does so without urgency. The brain does not demand immediate action. It allows orientation to form slowly. This gentleness protects the gains made overnight. You may not remember the night's work, but you will feel its results. In the ease of movement, in the steadiness of breath, in the quiet confidence of the nervous system. Sleep does not fix everything, but it restores enough. Enough clarity to think, enough balance to respond, enough calm to carry forward. As the night releases its hold, it does so without disruption. The nervous system remains regulated. The body remains supported. The mind remains flexible. There is no clear ending here. Only continuation. Calm flows from night into day, quietly, naturally, without effort, carried by the same rhythms that guided you into rest, now guiding you gently back, ready for what comes next. As the final stretch of rest unfolds, the mind no longer needs to organize, understand, or prepare. It is allowed to drift freely, without direction. At this stage of the night, the nervous system has completed most of its active recalibration. What remains is a gentle holding pattern, a state where awareness floats lightly above deep rest, appearing briefly and then dissolving again. Neuroscience describes this as a transitional zone, where sleep pressure remains strong, but readiness for waking slowly increases in the background. From the inside, it feels simple. Thoughts no longer form chains. Images appear without context. Sensation comes and goes without demand. The brain is no longer constructing meaning. It is conserving energy. This conservation allows the gains of the night to stabilize rather than unravel. Neural networks remain synchronized enough to preserve calm, yet flexible enough to allow awareness to surface gently if needed. This balance is important. If the mind were to re-engage too strongly, stress circuits could reactivate. If it remained too deeply withdrawn, transition would become abrupt later. This drifting state allows the system to remain adaptable without losing rest. Positive energy here is softness. The nervous system holds a wide margin of safety. It does not cling to sleep, nor does it push toward wakefulness. It remains receptive, responsive, and calm. Breathing remains slow and natural. Heart rhythm stays steady. Muscle tone remains low. The body rests in a state of readiness without tension. This state is often where people experience the most fleeting awareness. Brief moments where consciousness appears, then fades again. These moments are not failures to sleep. They are signs of smooth transition. Each one ends more quickly than the last, confirming that the system remains secure. There is nothing to fix. The mind is not meant to stay here. It is meant to pass through. As drifting continues, the boundaries between inner experience and outer environment remain soft. Sounds, if present, do not pull attention fully outward. They are registered without response, then released. The nervous system understands this as safety. Nothing requires action. Nothing demands interpretation. This permission allows the system to remain in low-effort mode, preserving the calm established throughout the night. The mind does not rehearse the day. It does not anticipate. It remains uncommitted. You are not watching this happen. You are inside it. The night holds this drifting gently, allowing rest to complete itself without interruption. There is no clear marker for progress, no signal to move on. The system will shift when timing aligns. Until then, drifting remains enough. Even as readiness for waking grows quietly beneath the surface, the body continues to invite rest, not because it is necessary, but because it is still welcome. In these final layers of sleep, the nervous system allows deeper rest to return in short, soft waves. Awareness fades again, sometimes completely. These returns to deeper stillness help anchor the calm achieved overnight, ensuring it is not lost during transition. Neuroscientifically, this reflects brief re-entries into non-REM sleep, where slow rhythms reappear momentarily. These moments reinforce neural synchronization and maintain parasympathetic dominance, preventing premature activation of alert systems. From the inside, there is no awareness of this. There is only absence. Absence of thought, absence of time, absence of self-reference. This absence is restorative. It allows the body to remain in repair mode just a little longer. It allows metabolic systems to finish what they're doing. It allows emotional circuits to remain settled. The nervous system does not rush to change state. Positive energy here is patience. The system trusts that there is time, that nothing is waiting urgently, that rest does not need to be defended. As these deeper waves pass, readiness continues forming quietly beneath them. The brain is capable of holding both states at once, rest and preparation, without conflict. This coexistence is one of the most refined abilities of the nervous system. It prevents shock. When waking eventually arrives, it will not feel like being pulled out. It will feel like rising naturally, carried by momentum rather than force. For now, there is no rising. There is only settling, again and again, as the body accepts one more moment of stillness, then another. Each return to rest reinforces the night's message: safety, continuity, calm. You do not need to remain with these words. They can dissolve. The deeper layers of rest are already holding you, quietly completing the night's work, one gentle wave at a time. In these quiet moments, the night no longer asks anything of you. It simply holds. The nervous system rests in a balanced state where neither deep repair nor full alertness dominates. This holding pattern is subtle, yet essential. It allows all the adjustments made during the night to settle into place without being disrupted by sudden change. From a physiological perspective, this is a period of fine-tuning. Neural activity remains calm, but not rigid. The brain's networks retain enough flexibility to respond if needed, while still preserving the low arousal environment that protects restoration. This balance prevents tension from returning. Heart rhythms remain steady, guided by parasympathetic influence. Breathing continues naturally, without effort or awareness. Muscle tone stays low, allowing connective tissues and joints to remain relaxed. The body is not preparing to move. It is remaining available. The brain mirrors this availability. Cortical activity shows gentle fluctuations rather than sharp transitions. These fluctuations help stabilize the gains of the night. Emotional balance, cognitive clarity, and physiological coherence. The system checks itself lightly, then settles again. There is no urgency in this checking, only reassurance. Positive energy here is steadiness without expectation. The nervous system does not anticipate stress. It does not rehearse tasks. It simply remains receptive, conserving energy and maintaining calm. This state also supports memory of safety. The brain learns not only that rest is possible, but that it can persist without vigilance. This learning is subtle, but powerful. It influences how easily calm can be accessed during waking hours. You are not aware of this learning, but it stays with you. Time passes quietly in this holding pattern. There is no sense of duration. Moments do not stack. They blend into one continuous presence of rest. This continuity allows repair processes to complete without interruption. If awareness surfaces briefly, it does so gently, without pulling the system upward. The brain recognizes the calm environment and returns to rest without effort. Each successful return reinforces confidence. This is how the nervous system avoids abrupt awakening. The body remains still, supported by gravity and surface. There is no need to adjust posture, no need to respond. The environment has proven itself stable enough to allow complete release. As the night continues to thin toward morning, this holding pattern ensures that calm does not evaporate prematurely. It acts as a buffer, smoothing the eventual transition. And for now, there is no transition, There is only being held. The night continues doing what it does best, maintaining space for restoration without drawing attention to itself. Nothing needs to be guided. Nothing needs to be completed consciously. The system remains quietly balanced, waiting for the natural signal that it is time to change, while remaining deeply at ease in the present moment. In this final stretch of rest, the nervous system releases what little tension may still remain. Not deliberately, not forcefully, but through time and consistency. Throughout the night, layers of alertness have been shed. What remains now are the faint traces, the habits of holding that were too subtle to notice earlier. These traces dissolve not through effort, but through prolonged safety. Neuroscience shows that sustained low arousal states allow inhibitory circuits in the brain to remain active long enough to quiet even deeply ingrained patterns. Muscles that habitually brace receive repeated signals to soften. Neural pathways that anticipate threat receive no confirmation and gradually reduce their output. This is extinction without struggle. The nervous system learns that vigilance is unnecessary here. Over time, it stops offering it. This learning is slow, gentle, and effective. It reshapes baseline tone rather than momentary state. Positive energy, at this point, is the absence of resistance. Breathing remains free. The jaw stays loose. The brow remains smooth. The body no longer prepares for anything. It simply exists in a state of support. This allows connective tissues to remain relaxed and neural signals to move without obstruction. The brain reflects this ease. Activity remains low and coordinated. There is no narrative, no evaluation. Awareness, if present at all, is diffuse and fleeting. The system does not identify with it. This lack of identification matters. When awareness is not centered on self-monitoring, the nervous system can complete its final adjustments uninterrupted. The night's work is not capped by an endpoint. It fades into readiness gradually, without a line dividing rest from waking. As these last traces dissolve, the body settles into its natural resting shape. Postural muscles remain quiet. The sense of internal pressure eases. Circulation flows smoothly. You will never notice this directly. You will notice it later as lightness, in how your shoulders feel when you move, in how your breath responds to stress, in how easily tension resolves. For now, the night holds these final releases gently. There is no need to accelerate them. They complete on their own schedule, guided by the same rhythms that carried you into rest. The system remains calm, patient, and unhurried. Nothing needs to happen next. Nothing needs to be achieved. Rest continues, quietly completing itself, leaving behind a nervous system that has learned, once again, how to let go. In this gentle quiet, the night no longer shapes or corrects. It simply allows. The nervous system rests inside a space where no signal asks for change. There is no instruction to deepen, no pressure to rise. This absence of demand is itself a powerful condition. It tells the brain that it does not need to prioritize and decide or prepare. It can remain open and uncommitted. Physiologically, this is a state of low informational load. Neural networks maintain stability without actively exchanging large volumes of data. This conserves energy and preserves the gains of the night. When the brain is not busy predicting or responding, it can remain coherent with minimal effort. Coherence here is quiet. Heart rhythms continue their steady pattern. Breathing flows without pause or attention. The body's internal environment stays balanced, with temperature, circulation, and metabolic activity all held within narrow, comfortable ranges. Nothing drifts far enough to require correction. The nervous system recognizes this as success. In this state, inhibitory pathways remain gently active, preventing the re-emergence of habitual alertness. The brain does not suppress vigilance. It simply finds no reason to generate it. Over time, this absence of reinforcement weakens old patterns of readiness. This is how calm becomes durable. Positive energy at this depth is neutrality that feels supportive, not excitement, not emptiness, just a sense that nothing is missing. The system does not look for stimulation. It rests within sufficiency. Awareness may appear briefly as a faint sense of presence, then dissolve again. These appearances are light and inconsequential. They do not gather momentum. The brain notices, confirms safety, and releases attention back into rest. Each release is smooth. There is no friction between states. Rest and readiness coexist without conflict. The nervous system has learned that it can hold both at once without strain. This learning will matter later, when transitions are more frequent. For now, the environment remains unchanged. Sound, if present, does not carry meaning. Light does not intrude. Sensation does not call for response. The body remains supported, and that support is enough. Time continues without marking itself. There is no sense of how long this has lasted or how long it will last. The nervous system does not measure duration. It measures conditions, and the conditions remain favorable. You do not need to remain with any words. They can soften and pass. The space that holds you now does not require narration. It exists whether attention is present or not. The night maintains it quietly, ensuring that nothing disturbs the balance that has been achieved. Rest remains complete in itself. As the night settles into its final stillness, calm no longer depends on continuation. It stands on its own. By now, the nervous system has received the same message repeatedly. There is no threat, no urgency, no requirement to act. Repetition has done its work. The system does not need further confirmation. Calm has become the default condition. In neuroscience, this reflects stabilized baseline activity. Stress-related circuits remain quiet, not because they are inhibited, but because they are unnecessary. Regulatory pathways maintain balance effortlessly. The system is no longer adjusting, it is maintaining. Maintenance is quiet. Neural firing remains coordinated at low levels. Hormonal signals stay within optimal ranges. Immune activity remains balanced. The body is not repairing actively now. It is preserving the results of earlier work. This preservation matters. Without it, gains would fade as soon as the night thinned. With it, calm carries forward. The nervous system does not lose regulation when stimulation returns. It remains available beneath it. Positive energy, here, is continuity across change. The mind does not cling to rest. The body does not resist transition. The system remains open and stable. Awareness, if it returns, is neutral. It does not evaluate the quality of sleep or anticipate the day. It simply registers presence, then releases it. There is no narrative forming, no sense of self assembling yet. This neutrality protects calm. As the night approaches its natural close, the nervous system remains in a state of readiness without tension. Readiness does not mean alertness. It means the ability to change state smoothly when timing aligns. Until then, nothing changes. Breathing continues at its own pace. The heart follows. Muscles remain relaxed. There is no instruction to move, no impulse to prepare. The body trusts the timing of transition. This trust is learned. It comes from nights where rest was allowed to complete itself, where nothing interrupted the process, where calm was not rushed or shortened. Tonight has been such a night. You do not need to stay present for what comes next. You do not need to follow anything. The calm that is settled does not require supervision. It will remain intact whether awareness returns now or later. It is embedded in rhythm, in regulation, in the memory of safety held by the nervous system. For now, the night remains quiet, and calm remains sufficient. At this point in the night, words are no longer needed to guide anything. They have already done their work. The nervous system now rests beneath language, beneath explanation, beneath meaning. Activity continues, but it is no longer organized around thought. It is organized around rhythm, slow, reliable rhythms that do not require attention to function. Neuroscientists describe this as a state where large-scale brain networks remain stable with minimal signaling. Communication continues, but only what is essential is exchanged. There is no excess, no commentary, no monitoring. From the inside, there is almost nothing to notice. Awareness may fade completely for long stretches, returning only as a faint sense of presence, then dissolving again. These returns are soft, without identity or intention. The mind does not attach to them. It lets them pass. This is effortless. The body remains deeply at ease. Muscle tone is low. Joints are supported. Circulation moves without resistance. Breathing flows smoothly, guided by centers that have been managing it all along. Nothing is being improved now. Nothing is being fixed. What was needed has already been done. This phase of sleep is about preservation, holding the nervous system in its regulated state long enough for it to recognize calm as normal. When calm persists without interruption, it becomes familiar. When it becomes familiar, it becomes accessible later. Positive energy, here, is familiarity with ease. The brain no longer rehearses safety, it assumes it. This assumption allows the system to remain deeply relaxed without effort. There is no scanning of the environment, no internal checking. The night has proven itself stable. Time continues without reference. Minutes do not accumulate. Hours do not announce themselves. The nervous system does not track progression. It simply remains. This remaining is not passive. It is efficient. Energy is conserved. Balance is maintained. You are not inside a process anymore. You are inside a state where nothing is asked and nothing is missing. As this state continues, the boundary between sleep stages becomes irrelevant. There is no need to distinguish. Restoration and rest blend together. The system floats in a wide, quiet basin of calm. If sounds exist beyond this space, they do not intrude. If sensations arise, they do not attach. Everything that appears dissolves without friction. The night holds this space gently, without directing it, without marking it. It will release it when the time comes, not before. Until then, there is no next step, only continuation. Now, even the sense of drifting fades. What remains is stillness. Not a stillness you observe, but one you are contained within. The nervous system has reached a point where it no longer needs variation to stay regulated. Stability itself is enough. Neural activity remains low and coherent. Autonomic balance is steady. The system is not moving toward anything. It is simply held. This holding is biological. The body knows how to sustain it. Breathing continues in an easy, uncounted rhythm. The heart follows with quiet consistency. There is no tension waiting to release. There is no alertness waiting to return. Everything that needed attention earlier has already been addressed. Positive energy here is completeness. Nothing is unfinished. Nothing is anticipated. The brain does not form images now. Dreaming, if it occurs, is diffuse and abstract, leaving no trace. There is no story, no self to place inside it. Experience passes through without shape. This is the depth where sleep becomes indistinguishable from rest itself. Time loses structure. Awareness loses edges. The nervous system remains deeply parasympathetic, maintaining repair and balance without interruption. The body does not need to check conditions. It already knows they are safe. This knowledge is not cognitive. It is embedded. And because it is embedded, it does not require reinforcement. The system will carry it forward naturally, without needing to remember anything about this night. You do not need to remain here consciously. You already are. There is nothing left to guide, nothing left to say. Stillness continues on its own, held quietly by darkness and time, allowing sleep to remain complete, uninterrupted, and gentle, exactly as the nervous system prefers. Now there is nothing left to follow, nothing left to listen for, nothing left to hold. Your nervous system has already received every signal it needs. Safety has been confirmed. Continuity has been established. Rest has fully taken over. At this depth, the brain no longer distinguishes between guidance and silence. Words dissolve into the same quiet space as breath and heartbeat. Neural activity remains slow, synchronized, and effortless. There is no longer a process unfolding, only a state being maintained. This is where sleep becomes self-sustaining. The autonomic nervous system remains deeply parasympathetic. Heart rhythm stays steady. Breathing flows on its own, unobserved. Muscles remain loose, supported by gravity and surface. There is no impulse to move, no signal to adjust. Nothing needs attention. If awareness appears at all, it is distant and incomplete, like a ripple that never reaches the surface. It fades before it can form thought. The mind does not gather itself. It lets go again, naturally. This letting go does not require permission anymore. It happens on its own. Positive energy here is complete absence of demand. The system is not waiting for the next moment. It is not anticipating morning. It is not reviewing the night. It is simply resting inside the rhythm that has carried it this far. You do not need to stay present. You do not need to remember. Everything important is already happening without you. The night holds your body gently, the way it has always known how to do. Repair continues where it is still needed. Balance is maintained where it has already been restored. Nothing is rushed, and nothing is interrupted. There is no ending here, only deepening quiet. You are safe now. Nothing is required of you. You can drift, and drift, and drift. And now, even drifting softens. There is only rest. The nervous system no longer signals change. The brain no longer organizes experience. The body no longer distinguishes between inside and outside. Everything has settled into a single, quiet continuity. Breath moves in and out without shape. Heartbeat follows without sound. Time passes without meaning. There is no edge to this state, no marker that says now, no sense of before or after. The system is complete. You are not falling asleep anymore. You are asleep, safe, held, undisturbed. Nothing needs to be finished. Nothing needs to be released. Nothing needs to return. If words fade, let them fade. If silence expands, let it expand. You are safe now. Safe now. Drift away, and rest. You are safe now. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to remember. Your body knows how to rest. Your mind knows how to drift. Breathing continues on its own, slow, steady, gentle. With every quiet moment, the day moves farther away, and the night holds you softly. You don't need to follow the sound anymore. You don't need to listen. You don't need to stay awake. Just drift and drift and drift. You are safe now. Completely safe. Let everything fade, fade, fade.